Hello, brothers and sisters. My name is Richard Koritz. I'm proud to be co-host with my old friend, old brother, old comrade, old trade union militant, fellow militant, Brother O.W. Sweeney.
My brother, glad to be here with you.
And we're
to fight for the people and to speak the truth that you don't hear on the major media.
right. And the title of our show is "You Gotta Laugh to Keep from Crying,"
Which is brought to you by the North
Carolina Triad Jobs
with
with Justice.
Where you can reach us at
336-272-2758
or email us.
Or email us at nctriadjobswithjustice@gmail.com.
Right.
And so I think the first thing that we wanted to talk about today is the fact that the federal government shutdown is continuing at the expense,
Which is led by Donald Trump.
At the expense of the people of the United States. Just like, for example, Hurricane Helene, that Trump promised when he was campaigning, he was going to take care of the people of Western North Carolina, part of his base and all. And it was an absolute lie. And in fact, since then, it's turned out that he's turned down all federal funding for helping our brothers and sisters in Western North Carolina. Similarly, this shutdown is something that not only is he leading, as you and I discussed, but he wanted this shutdown and continues to want this shutdown.
To exercise authority he don't have.
To exercise authority he doesn't have, and that's outright illegal, and to continue to hollow out the federal government. And it's kind of interesting because one of the few people, I'd say, that is as monstrous as Trump is Stephen Miller, his deputy chief of staff. And in the aftermath of Charlie Kirk's killing, Stephen Miller made the bizarre claim, and here I'm quoting from an article in the News and Record back about 10 days ago or so, saying Stephen Miller made the bizarre claim that government workers, among others, quote, have been deeply and violently radicalized, the consequence of a vast organized system of indoctrination. So Miller is saying, so when VOT comes for your job, or when VOT comes from your child's job, or your parent's job, or your nephew's job, whatever it might be, don't feel sorry for them, because they got to be among these really radicalized people that have gone through this indoctrination, even though we have absolutely no proof that any of this indoctrination has taken place. And so this is Trump's shutdown. This is Trump's shutdown.
Oh, yes.
However, as you and I discussed, the Republicans, who mostly don't want this shutdown because...
But they're scared of Trump.
And so the fact that Trump wants it is enough for them to stay with it, to stay the course.
Well, the MAGA base, they scared of the MAGA base.
Yeah.
Because the MAGA base, if Trump tell them to jump, on the way up, they ask him how high.
Right.
Not understanding that they didn't give this man overwhelmingly power to be the dictator that he is,
right,
to be the king that he is,
right,
to stifle the people,
right,
of this country.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, some of those people he up there firing voted for him.
Right.
He just simply tells, I don't care about you no way.
Right.
The big, beautiful bill, as they call it,
right,
was a tremendous support of that idea, because they gave those billionaires and millionaires all the money and threw you some crumbs that you haven't seen yet.
And in reality, what they also did was they grew ICE in this whole thuggish, semi-police, semi-Gestapo regimen of
Well, you say
national
semi, I
police.
just say Gestapo and let it be done.
Okay, so then, and they got 10 times the financing out of it, so that they get like an average of $50,000 bonuses to sign up to become these thugs for these fascist thugs. Let's be blunt about it.
Well,
Okay, so that gives you the idea that Trump is leading it. Trump wants it, and the Republicans in Congress are too afraid of Trump to fight for what they might want to, which is because they want to get reelected, and they see what's going on with Trump and this shutdown. And then the Democrats, in my view at least, are actually doing something right for a change. They've been so impotent, they've been so powerless in the face of Trump and all this time. And they weren't consulted, they were not consulted by their Republican colleagues in either the House or the Senate, who passed that abominable bill. I like to see, that's one of the few cases in my life where I ever hoped to be on the same side as Elon Musk. And it was only during the time when he was breaking up with Trump that he told the truth about what an abomination for the people that bill has been. And but the Democrats, in their cowardly, half-hearted fashion, allowed the terrible wiping out of most of the health care base of this is as Senator Sanders has correctly pointed out over and over again lately, that this is the most modern country in the world and the richest, where the people have not a human right to health care, public health care. And it's a good thing, in my opinion, that the Democrats have gone, since they were not consulted about that abomination of a bill, they now are trying to, through this flexing, they're trying
people that they're out there for them.
Right.
When they should have been out there for them a long time ago.
True. And
over 6 months ago, they should have shut it down.
Right.
They should have done it.
Okay.
And if the Republicans, in my opinion, keep accusing the Democrats of shutting the government down, I think the Democrats should own up to it and say, yes, we're shutting the government down, we're fighting for the people of the United States of America.
And specifically for continuation of health care. And that's a very good thing that they're doing, finally. So that tells us that we're still in the shutdown period. Trump continues to want it. Trump and his thugs and his advisor, what's his name? Ott or Vought? Vought, I think it is his name, who's the head of the Office of Management and Budget, who wrote in Project 2025 to do exactly this kind of hollowing out of the government. But Trump claimed when he was on the campaign trail that he didn't know anything about it.
Don't know nothing about it.
And then he said,
another lie.
let me right, exactly. And then he said, oh, by the way, let me appoint this guy to be once Elon Musk was out of the picture, he's now the guy doing that Musk work.
So I'm trying to really think, was that a breakup or was that a move to get that Tesla stock back up? Get people back involved.
I mean, that was definitely the case. That was on his part.
More money than anything, looking for the money.
Right. So anyway, we've dealt with the fact that the shutdown continues.
Yes.
And that's and the players, the key players that are involved with it. And meanwhile, it's all at the expense of the people of the United States.
Either way.
Yeah.
The people getting the shaft either way.
Yeah.
If the government was open and running fine, Trump would find a way to shaft the people anyway.
But you're absolutely right. That's already been shown by how many thousands of federal jobs have been eliminated. And as I said, of course, Stephen Miller now wants the people of the United States to demonize the federal workers so that they don't relate to them. And would be a big mistake for the rest of the people of the country to not be united with the federal workers in this situation. and the federal workers include scientists, they include doctors, they include the climatologists,
Yes.
they include the people with the weather forecasts, and
something that's going to help the citizens of the United States of America.
Exactly. So let's move on then to the fact that Trump has nominated himself for a Nobel Prize,
Trying to anyway.
and he got the support of an awful lot of the Israeli settler regime. And this is, and we've discussed over the time, a colonial regime, a settler regime, a military fascist regime could also be thrown in there, with Netanyahu being one of the most bloodthirsty tyrants that we've seen in the last 100 years. And they're
doing what they can to exterminate the Palestinian people.
Exactly. And the thing that the praise for Trump, mainly from Trump, is that
But he's not receiving that much praise from the people here.
No, but he did receive praise from the Israelis, and for what? Because he helped to bring back, 20 or so.
No,
What?
because he helped murder the Palestinians. He helped starve the Palestinians.
Oh, so did Biden, and they didn't bow down to Biden in the same way. So let me finish this point. So the hostages, and this is the point you've made. What's the difference between the hostages and the prisoners, the Palestinian prisoners that they're swapped for and all?
Why is one hostage and one's prisoner?
Was a prisoner.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
And how come you got 2,000 prisoners and you get 20 hostages?
Right.
What did you doing behind the scene that the people don't know about that caused you to go out there and get those prisoners, as they are called,
Right.
which I consider them hostages, because I believe this is why October 7th happened.
Okay. And wait a minute, but here again, you're absolutely right. That in this period, just this last period around this so-called ceasefire and peace deal and all that stuff, it came out that a tremendous number of these few thousand prisoners, so-called, were arrested and imprisoned with no charges. They've been in those prisons in Israel with no charges, no due process at all. That came out just in this period. I hadn't heard it before, but it fits in exactly with what you've been saying about it. And but the idea that the people of Gaza, the Palestinian people of Gaza, were finally going to be able to get some relief. As soon as the deal was signed, Israel reneged on the deal to begin with. But initially, the main pathway into Gaza for the relief, about half of all of the relief would be able to come through that way, was blocked by Israel right from the beginning. So they reneged on the deal. But U.S. media, even the pro-Democratic Party media, only would talk about the allegations by the various layers representing the U.S. government under Trump now, that supposedly Hamas
who was chosen by the Palestinians to be their leader.
True.
The United States never recognized it.
That's right, exactly.
But yet, they recognize the fact that they can be destroyed if they give Israel all these weapons to wipe them out.
Well, and that still may happen. But the fact of the matter is that Hamas did not renege on the deal. The deal was around these handfuls, literally a couple of handfuls of Israeli, quote, hostages. And what made those people so much more valuable than the 68,000 Palestinian people that have been destroyed by the Netanyahu-led Israeli military, backed by our tax dollars. You know. And
it's time for people start calling for to stop funding Israel.
entirely.
It's time for it to stop.
Absolutely. And meanwhile, there is no deal, as far as I'm concerned. And,
Well,
and what you were pointing out, making a deal with Trump is like the Native Americans historically
Yes.
making deals with the U.S. government.
Yes.
Every one of those treaties was broken by the U.S. government. Okay. The next thing we were going to talk about, if we can go on to it, is that the No Kings march protest on October 18, led by Indivisible in most places in the country, doing a remarkable job to resist the King Trump,
Dictator Trump, King
the
dictator,
right, chief oppressor, hater-in-chief, liar-in-chief, Donald Trump, and
Donald J. Trump,
and the No Kings here in the United States, and starting with the first big demonstration led by the Indivisible organization, the hands-off demonstration in April had 3 million around the country. Absolutely phenomenal. On June 14th, the first No Kings demonstration, again led primarily by Indivisible, had 5 million. And now, brother, and we helped a little bit here with Greensboro in interviewing.
There was no coverage on the television about this.
Well, we were. I'm saying we.
I'm talking about with the major media.
But wait a minute. I'm saying that 7 million people of the United States were out there in protest against King Trump, and that's so the trajectory is quite positive.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But
and here in Greensboro,
but they're criticizing Trump regime. Is criticizing all those millions of people who was out there. They're basically calling them anti-Americans.
You mean the Trump regime is calling them anti-Americans?
Well,
and worse, they're calling them terrorists.
Now hold on. Now, as if in this country we're not supposed to have a democracy where people can speak their mind. Now they're criminalizing them to try to bolster, to make themselves look good by calling them thugs and criminals and anti-American.
But it's more than that.
No,
it's more
my point is this here.
Yeah.
If we allow to protest here, and then you are the regime in charge, and you calling those people anti-American, they're not the ones who's anti-American. You are, because you don't think they have the right to protest.
Right. That all true. But the fact of the matter is that what Trump and his J.D. Vance and Miller and
Johnson
and Johnson, the Speaker Johnson, in particular, those people, what they did was, first, they tried to call them, as you just said, and I was out there, so certainly I was one of them, anti-American, that they called us haters and anti-American, and you've already spoken well on that issue. But what they were doing by that was trying to scare people into not showing up, because Trump, Vance, these people, and Johnson and all, Miller, they were petrified, because they know that even if the Democrats are afraid of them, the people are more powerful. We, the people, are more powerful than any fascist regime.
Only thing I got to say, we the people need to take back our government.
Right. Or I don't know about take it back, but take it.
Take our government.
Right. But
put people in power who are going to represent us.
Right. So the interesting thing to me, the kind of the striking thing here, I mean, the most important things is that this is this trajectory from 3 million in April to 5 million in June to 7 million the other day. So here in Greensboro, and we had in Guilford County, Indivisible Guilford County, led a demonstration which has finally been it's stated that the Greensboro Police Department said there were 2,500 to 3,000 people on Wendover Avenue at the indivisible called demonstration connected to the whole USA, 2,700 cities and towns, demonstration of 7 million. And but the Greensboro News and Record, I'm going to call out to our viewers. The Greensboro News and Record had, I believe, exactly 2 sentences on Monday's in Sunday or Monday's paper the next day about the Guilford County demonstrations, and the I said 2,500 to 3,000 at the indivisible demonstration all along Wendover Avenue, from the I-73 south exit all the way over to the
40.
No, way past 40, all the way over to the Carmax, to Carmax, all the way on both sides of the street, lined with people. It's also near almost to the bowling alley, right on just off of Window. So incredible. It may well have been over 3,000.
Well, you know, they don't never give you the correct number.
Well, and that was the police, but that was the police too, and they usually give it a low number anyway. And then there was another demonstration called in downtown where about 350 or 400 people attended. So this was massive for a city of the size of Greensboro, and yet the News and Record, the bourgeois paper, the establishment paper in Greensboro,
you said it gave him
it gave him 2 sentences in the middle of an article that came out about Winston-Salem. And that's because the papers are now published in Winston-Salem. Both the Winston-Salem and the Greensboro newspaper are published in Winston-Salem. But what it did, in my view, O.W., was it put at least the Greensboro paper on the side of Trump. Because Trump first tried to scare the people into not showing up there. And then when people showed up en masse, exactly. So this newspaper seems like it's really.
Did you see it on any TV shows? Have you heard?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. There was. It was on.
I'm talking about Greensboro.
Oh, not about Greensboro. No.
I know it was on the national news.
Yeah, it was on the national news.
It wasn't on the local news.
I think, and your sister is agreeing with you, so I know you got to be right about that. But you're right. And there was plenty of coverage. They couldn't get it nationally, right? Exactly. But anyway, so it's bad, and I think we're going to have to raise some sand with the news, at least the News and Record. The article on Winston-Salem was small, but it was possible, to do it. And they had a tremendous turnout in Winston-Salem as well. But that's something we'll take up with our friends with Indivisible and Guilford and see what we can do. The question of redistricting. Oh, we're almost out of time. Berger and what did you want to say about the man that's running against him?
Sam Page.
Sam Page, the sheriff in Rockingham County. So Berger, who recognized, and this is the important thing for our viewers, Berger recognized that this effort to try to squeeze out another Republican congressperson when the state of North Carolina is about 50-50 voting with about 13 or 14 Congress people, so that would be about 7-7 is what it is. But right now they already have 11-3, and I think
Yeah.
Berger didn't have the imagination to try to squeeze out, or maybe he didn't want the trouble that he would
my
get.
thing is, if the
Yeah.
Republicans think they're doing such a great job for the people,
Right.
and the people seem to be voting for them because they control the state legislators, why do they have to go through these tactics unless they understand that this Trump movement, this mega movement, is really gutting the people, and the people are ready to revolt at the ballot box,
Right.
which they should.
Right, and that fits in with what we were just talking about with Trump's corruption. Go ahead.
Well, I thought you was going to talk about
The Texas and
I think we're going to have to.
yeah, but finish what you were going to say.
Well, basically, that what you said
Yeah.
is that the only reason Berger's jumping on the bandwagon now is because he's being challenged by somebody
Right.
who's also a good friend of Trump's.
Yeah, and
So he's just trying to get that Trump endorsement.
right, yeah, exactly.
So
So with that, we need to underline the fact that in
in
our
our unity
unity lies our strength.